Signs of yeast infection. Know what to look for. Yeast infection can affect either men or women, even children. Looking for the signs of yeast infection can be quite difficult. You'll have to determine first what type of yeast infection an individual has developed. It is important to be knowledgeable about this medical condition so that you'll recognize the symptoms and can thereafter seek the proper treatment. Yeast infection in the vagina is common among women. It is also the most recognizable type of infection. When a woman is suffering from yeast infection, she tends to experience pain during sexual intercourse, intense itchiness, and pain during urination, and swelling of the vagina and the vulva. Sometimes there's redness and a burning sensation with vaginal discharge that smells like yeast. The signs of yeast infection in women may be confused with the signs of sexually transmitted diseases. It is therefore important to see a doctor the moment you exhibit the symptoms. Yeast infection can be transmitted through sexual intercourse, though it is not considered to be an STD. If a man's partner has a yeast infection, it will be highly likely that he too will contract the disease. The signs of yeast infection in men are more obvious: redness, itchiness, and a burning sensation at the tip of the penis. Even children can suffer from yeast infection, though their symptoms are usually harder to recognize. A simple diaper rash could actually be a sign of yeast infection. You will have to look closely at the rash. If you notice red bumps that could have pus and a scaling pattern, the baby may be suffering from yeast infection. A diaper rash normally dries up in a matter of days. If the rash persists, you have to bring the baby to a doctor. Yeast infection does not necessarily occur in the genital area. There's also a different type of infection called intestinal yeast infection. Its symptoms include indigestion, bloating, and diarrhea or constipation. The person may also be lethargic and would have difficulty concentrating. In addition, there may be muscle pain, the appearance of acne, joint swelling, and even chronic yeast infections. Because of having very diverse signs, doctors often have difficulty diagnosing intestinal yeast infection. The common causes of yeast infection include reaction to antibiotics and birth control pills, steroids, a weak immune system, stress, diabetes, and poor eating habits. Any type of fungal infection needs to be treated immediately. Though not a very serious medical condition, it can cause embarrassment and discomfort for both adult men and women. Always be on the lookout for the signs of yeast infection so you can get medical attention as early as possible. Ever thought of curing your yeast infection permanently, once and for all? If so, visit www.cureyeastinfectionholistically.com for more free videos that will reveal to you a clinically researched system that will eliminate yeast infection for good.